Hey y'all, good morning, good morning, good morning. We've got the combine, the NFL combine, the job interviews start today, so to speak. And that is very, very awesome. We are, my family, we definitely enjoy this time of year. And this morning was interesting because when I got into the room, my wife was watching Good Morning Football. She was watching, and Traeger was discussing Ron Rivera and the Redskins situation. And my wife was kind of blown that they were looking at Tua and Burrows, among others. I'm like, well, they're just doing their due diligence. And she was like, yo, but the kid Haskins. And, I feel you. I hear, but a couple of things. Number one, Ron Rivera, the new GM president, they all weren't here last year. So they didn't pick Dwayne Haskins. And as I recall, there was already an issue with young Haskins between the prior coaching staff and the front office. If I'm not mistaken, the coaching staff wanted a different quarterback, and the owner, GM, wanted Haskins. So already the young man is coming in with lukewarm vibe about him because of how he got there. Then he goes out on the field and he doesn't necessarily play well. Doesn't play well. Kind of got a little better toward the end of the season. But even then, they were, toggling back and forth on the quarterback position. So honestly, the Redskins are open, with the quarterback situation. I honestly don't even know what's going on with Alex Smith, to be perfectly honest with you. What's going on with his health or anything. I don't know what's going on there. So, again, Ron's got a lot to do. He's got a lot to deal with, a lot to put together in a short amount of time. So, I don't mind him kicking tires on the first round quarterbacks. I don't. And unfortunately for Dwayne Haskins, there's already been precedent. And that precedent is Josh Rosen, who whined and moaned because he got picked 10th overall because he felt like he should have gone earlier. And this is the same cat who couldn't even beat out Ryan Tannehill for it. I mean, not Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Fitzpatrick, excuse me. A career backup. You couldn't beat him for a starting position. So yes, he kind of got an unfair deal in Arizona. He did. And he really didn't do anything in Miami either. But I'm just saying, so there's a precedent for a first round pick in two different drafts. There's a precedent for that. And it looks like Arizona, by doing that, got a guy that fits what they want to do a little bit better. So unfortunately for Haskins, since that precedent is out there, in this offseason, he got to do what he got to do, man. Just to be frank, this is on him. You know what I mean? He's got to be able to put the skill sets together. I don't know if he can, if he can't. I don't know. I don't know his body of work from college that well. But at the same time, if he does show something, then Ron's got a really interesting, Ron and the president and them, they got a really interesting position in. Because with that, they could trade out of that number 2 and get a couple, maybe even a few pieces, in the draft that could help them elsewhere. So, while they're kicking tires, there might be some gamesmanship going on in the front office area as well. And I really wouldn't mind that either, because if they want to get back to form, they need more than a quarterback. They need the tight end position because, quite honestly, I mean, Jordan Reed, man, for all the talent in the world that he's had, those concussions, man, I'm more scared about that young man's rest of his life than I am about his football life. And so, but unfortunately, and I believe they did already move on from him once he came out of concussion protocol. But honestly, they have, I don't know what they've done to destroy that poor child. But they can't rely on him at the tight end position anymore. They really got to get better there. They actually need some wide receivers too, just to be frank. You know, I think their defense is okay. Their running back situation is okay. They've got some things there they could work with. So Ron really needs to go in with eyes wide open and nothing promised to anybody, because at the end of the day, none of those are his guys. You know, so I know she wasn't really happy to hear that, but I had to ask her. You know, at the end of the day, which do you want more for? The success of the young quarterback or the success of your team? Because to me, that's what it is. And I believe that Ron Rivera can change the culture there. And I believe he's going to have the opportunity and chance. He'll at least get 4 or 5 years. I don't see him getting fired right away. So he's got time to put his stamp on and build that. Now, here's another thing, and nobody's really talking about this either. If the Panthers move on from Cam, which I kind of have a very strong feeling that they will, why wouldn't the Redskins go after him? You know, they shore up that offensive line. Maybe they even have a better offensive line in Washington. And again, it all depends on that Liz Frank and how he heals up from that. So, again, there's going to be a lot of options, but one of the more entertaining teams that I'm looking at this football offseason is definitely the Redskins. Definitely. All right, y'all. I'll try to get into some Jets talk and some Giants talk later on in the week. Today is Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. So maybe tomorrow. Once I get home and watch some of this combine and see what's good. All right, so again, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all later.